Hi, Ben and Nathan. Longtime listener and LSAT Demon user here. The last time I wrote into the show, you both helped me answer some general questions regarding how to incorporate my experience in Division I football into my personal statement. Okay, apparently that's episode 241. If it helps ring a bell, I also wrote about going blind in one eye during my sophomore year. I do kind of remember that. Thank you for the helpful advice. My next question has to do with a GPA addendum. My LSAC GPA is a 3.84.
Nice.
And over the course, nice. And over the course of my undergraduate years, my GPA shifted only slightly every semester. 3.9, 3.8, 3.7, 4.0, etc. However, despite finishing with a cumulative GPA of a 3.82, in the final semester of my senior year, I received a 3.4. I know this isn't a bad GPA, but considering it is a slight drop relative to my past semesters, as well as your guys' repeated emphasis on finishing your undergraduate years strong, do you think it's worth writing an addendum? My immediate reaction to this is no. The point of an addendum is to bring attention to something. And so if someone has a low GPA and then they have a higher GPA, what you're doing is you're bringing attention to the higher GPA in the later semesters. Here, what are you going to do? Talk about how your GPA was higher in your first semesters? I don't think I would talk about this. You?
Well, I mean, yeah, 3.84 LSAC GPA. I was just going to look up a 509 for, 509 Michigan law. Michigan is a top 14 school. Everyone would agree, one of the best law schools in the country. Their 25th percentile GPA is 3.56. Their 50th percentile GPA is 3.81. 75th is 3.88. So your GPA is between the 50th and 75th percentile. It's better than average at one of the best law schools in the country. 3.82. Wait. No, LSAC GPA 3.84. Yeah, so you're above their 50th percentile. You're almost at their 75th percentile. And now you're going to write an addendum that says, hey, look, I got bad grades my last semester, but I'm going to make an excuse for it.
I don't think they really care, right? Because at the end of the day, they only have to report the 3.84.
Yeah, no, your grades are good for them. They don't, yeah. We only want to acknowledge a bad semester if our grades already are kind of bad, right? And we want to, and then we're going to make the case, hey, look, my grades would be so much better if not for this one semester where something beyond my control happened.
And usually you want those good grades to come from a later semester because the argument is this is who I am now, not who I was.
Right. They're not going to look at your last semester and go, oh, look, this guy, we're going to discount his, they get to report your 3.84. They don't give a fuck about that 3.4 in the last semester. Yeah, absolutely do not. And you know what? If he also, if he did, I can't remember, but if he actually talked about the blindness in his personal statement, and then he also is writing an addendum about a torn ACL and being in a bad place mentally and physically, they don't want anyone
like losing.
Yeah, they don't want people in a bad place. They want people in a good place. They're not trying to bring problems to their school. So the more problems you tell them about, the more they're just going to be like, let's just pass on this one. He told us about 2 separate physical ailments. That's like your grandma, who the only thing she talks about is her doctor's appointments. People don't, I love my grandma, but nobody wants to hear that. So, Joe, clear pass on talking about this last semester.
Yeah. Okay.
Just read the PS.
Yeah, the PS. I've raised my diagnostic score of a 147 to consistently scoring in the high 160s now. Wow. Good. That's good. That will help you a lot. I attribute this increase to the demon as well as the podcast. More specifically, though, I thank you both for the unparalleled instruction / explanations. I don't know what I would have done without you guys. Oh, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. I mean, you did the work,
Yeah.
Joe. So I
Yeah.
also get greedy, Joe. Shoot for the 170s. If you get that into the 170s with your 3.84, you could literally be talking about Stanford. So, a 147 is a great starting score. You've improved by 20 points already. That's awesome. But we have seen people improve by 25 or 30 points. And, another handful of points could be the difference between Michigan, great school, or Harvard. By the way, if you get into Harvard, you should turn it down and go to Michigan for a full ride and a stipend. But that's awesome, Joe.